Hello, everyone, and welcome to another TalentLMS webinar. We're very excited as today we'll dive into one of the most powerful learning combos in TalentLibrary, the sales and service paths. Whether you're building confident communicators, or empowering top-tier sellers, these ready-made learning journeys are here to sharpen skills, boost performance, and keep your teams one step ahead. My name is Irini, and I'm a senior customer onboarding consultant here in TalentLMS, and I will be hosting this session live alongside with my good colleague Nick.
Hi, everyone. I'm Nick. I'm the content curation specialist here at TalentLMS, and this is my very first webinar, the first of many, hopefully. So I'm excited to be here with you all.
Good luck, Nick. And
Thanks.
before we dive in, just a quick reminder, this webinar is being recorded and you will receive the recording by email once it wraps up. So feel free to share it with your team. And we're also running a live Q&A throughout the session. Our team will be answering your questions behind the scenes and we'll also tackle some of them live. So to ask any question you have, just hit the Q&A button in your meeting controls. Now, before we get into our agenda for today, I would like to shine a spotlight on something truly special, the Talent LMS Training Excellence Awards. These awards celebrate the amazing ways our customers use Talent LMS to upskill teams, solve real business challenges, and create impactful learning experiences. From onboarding to compliance, from sales training to DEI, our users are doing outstanding work, and we want the world to know about it. Whether you're training a team of 1 or 100, if you're doing something you're proud of, submit your story. And this way, you'll get a chance to be recognized by a global audience and showcase your team's achievements. All winners will win in a digital badge and trophy and an exciting prize of 5 consulting sessions with L&D expert Stella Lee, valued at 2,500, tailored to help them drive even greater training success. Submissions are open until August the 19th. Just head to talentlms.com/training excellence awards. It's quick and easy to enter. In fact, the link is just dropped in the chat. And if you're not sure if your program is award worthy, trust me, it is. Every learning story matters. And with that said, let's get back into our agenda. So what we will be doing today we will discover the audience and key topics. Who are these sales and service paths suitable for and why? Then we will explore the paths. Nick will take us in a walkthrough with example of courses. And of course, we will learn how to manage those courses and build those paths into the system. And lastly, the live Q&A that will take place. And with that said, the floor is yours, Nick, for your first appearance. So
Right, thanks, Irini. And just to piggyback a little bit off of what you just said, today's session is all about giving your first-line customer-facing professionals the tools they need to succeed. So whether it's from first customer contact all the way to long-term loyalty and satisfaction and the support in between, whether you're onboarding new reps, sharpening your team's communication skills, or trying to scale consistent customer interactions, you're in the right place today. So let's go ahead and get started. So let's first take just an overview and learn a bit more about our sales and service category, which pulls together our expertly crafted content from our sales collection, our customer service collection, and our customer success collection, all of which is part of our beloved talent library. In addition to that, with over 100 bite-sized courses, each of which are under 15 minutes in length, this category combined supports your entire front line, from junior reps to emerging leaders. Also, these courses range from practical communication strategies to more advanced approaches. In addition, it also covers analytical and data-driven aspects as well. So overall, our sales and customer service collections in Talent Library are packed with short, engaging courses that are great for busy teams. And because everything's delivered seamlessly through Talent LMS, assigning, tracking, and personalizing the experience is super easy, which of course Irini will show you just a bit later. And one last thing, lest I forget, because it's a unified library, you're not stuck sourcing content from multiple vendors. So sales, service, and more, it's all in one place. All right, so before we start discussing these learning paths in particular, what are they and what do they offer? So the reasoning behind our learning paths was to create courses that are grouped into logical and sequential steps, or what we call phases. These phases enable you and your teams to get sales and customer service training into a more natural flow. So the value behind this, among many other things, is efficiency and time savings. So, for example, it's great for rolling out to new hires, which provides a more natural flow for them, and it helps managers with implementing a rapid and consistent onboarding process. And it's not just that. Tracking employees' progress in their journey is easily done as well. All right, so now for our first learning path, we're going to discuss our sales learning path. So this is for anyone, any of our sales representatives, our account executives, sales consultants, whichever the title. It's beneficial for all sales-facing roles and includes foundational courses, which escalates to more advanced sales tactics and methods. Even for our more senior salespeople, I can honestly say that I'd be surprised if you don't pick up at least a few useful pieces of information throughout this learning path. And on a personal note too, I do personally have some years of experience under my belt in sales. So taking these courses, even with my prior knowledge and familiarity, as mentioned, I was still able to pick up a nugget or two from each lesson. So it's even applicable for more advanced and seasoned salespeople, if even for the pleasant refresher or just to dust off any concepts that may have been forgotten. I forget all the time because it happens to the best of us, of course, right? So also, the reason why I'm so confident in saying that you're almost guaranteed to pick up some useful insights is because the entirety of this learning path is a bit over 6 hours in length, and it touches on everything from sales communication to managing your pipeline, all the way to closing the deal. Moreover, all of these courses comes with a certificate of completion. So now let's get more granular and look at these phases within this sales learning path. So the first phase of this learning path is a foundational one, appropriately. And it includes a course on the basic yet crucial points that salespeople need to prepare for, such as, before the call prep, skills to activate during the meeting, and then creating and maintaining your pipeline. Additionally, the course Emotional Intelligence for Sales Success rounds out this particular phase. Okay, the second phase of the sales collection is what I like to refer to as the sales craft courses. That's what I personally like to call it. So whether it be from the classic sales pitch, how to present benefits of what you're selling, or with a course like selling the proposed solution, there are many multiple angles of how to present and do this skillfully. So as we're all probably pretty aware, communication comes naturally to us salespeople. Although, how do you do this in a strategical and build good habitual touches? With this third phase, this addresses tact in your questions or building authentic connections with your prospects through a course like How to Build Rapport and ways to close deals quicker with our Shortening Your Sales Cycle course. Because after all, time is money, right? The fourth phase here, moving on, is in particular my favorite. I had quite a kick out of taking this and learned some things. So we all might have some apprehensions, especially if we're pretty new to sales. So how to manage some of these insecurities while also being able to sell the right way, not the used car salesman way. That, for example, was important to me when I was starting out. So some more advanced courses round out this phase, like obtaining commitment and closing difficult deals are, in my opinion, invaluable. All right, and the final phase here, it's filled with 6 advanced long-term sales strategies, from our course selling, upselling, and account growth to sales forecasting courses. There are some profound takeaways packed into these. And there are courses that could be taken as a great refresher from time to time as well, since they're packed with so much information. All right, so that wraps up our sales learning path and its phases within. Overall, this is a journey, from getting the basics down to becoming truly strategic. I'd also like to mention that, again, it's designed to be useful whether you're just getting started or you've been in the game for some years. Okay, so moving on, we're going to discuss our customer service learning path. And like before, we'll start with an overview of this learning path, talk about its phases and benefits. So let's jump in. So this learning path is designed with your customer service representatives in mind, especially those who are newer to the role or at an intermediate level. Encompassing 4 phases at just over 4 hours long, it's packed with practical guidance for everyday customer interactions, interpersonal skills, and even include some tips and skills for leveraging technology in the customer service world. Through this path, your learners will sharpen the foundational skills that make excellent support possible. So basically, how to approach a customer with the right mindset, even in these tricky situations. And speaking of these tricky situations, while taking this learning path, I was particularly interested in how to navigate these tricky situations. I was never in customer support before, but I was interested in this. And because as we all know, customer service heroes encounter some, let's say, emotionally charged customers from time to time. So this path here prepares your teams to handle these situations with confidence and poise. So a really interesting point there. So overall, whether it's sharpening your customer service skills or customizing your customer service chatbot, your customer service reps will walk away with the tools and know-how to be proficient in customer service. All right, so discussing these phases now in customer service. The first phase, like the others, is all about laying a strong foundation. These courses, like our customer service mindset or practicing positivity titles, these, along with other courses in this phase, sharpen the core communication habits every service professional needs. Learners get to grasp in this phase how to communicate with enhanced clarity and recognize and understand different customer personas that they might encounter. So this next phase, the second phase, this is what I like to call the relationship building zone or relationship building phase. So this is where we go a bit deeper with courses like nurturing customer relations and anticipating customers' needs, being more proactive. So it goes beyond the words of the previous phase by conveying to learners how empathy and being cognizant of emotions or cultural norms truly matter. Okay, so now the uncomfortable part, because of course, not every customer interaction goes swell. That's why phase 3 is all about handling challenges. These courses are practical guides to navigating complaints, having these tough. It's also a thoughtful progression that not only helps them show up better for customers, but also builds us confidence and versatility every step of the way.
Sorry for jumping in, Nick.
Yeah.
All these things were very interested, but I think that we're not done yet before I demonstrate how to build the paths. I think you have a secret, a hidden gem for us. Am I right?
Yes, yes, we added this here at the last second here, but we're very happy to talk a little bit more about our customer success learning path. So we couldn't leave this out from this discussion because customer success is basically the glue. I hear this a lot. It's the glue that holds sales and customer service together. So they turn these promises into results and keep the customers happy and ensures that everyone is aligned for long-term success, both the customer and the person providing the service. So we'll talk about that. So customer success is our next learning path. And like before, I'll go into a bit of the learning path, its phases and benefits. So for all of our customer success representatives, account managers, or customer support specialists and the like, is for anyone that's junior to their role or at an intermediate level. And like sales and service, service is a good refresher even for the more experienced customer success roles. So within this customer success learning path, we offer just over 2 hours of courses split up into 4 logical phases. And upon completion, your learners will be able to guide new customers through structured onboarding and personalized support, while also building lasting relationships through education, loyalty programs, and this proactive communication. So overarching goals such as preventing churn and uncovering revenue growth opportunities are included in this learning path as well. And it's also an excellent learning path that will also help learners save time via streamlined workflows with automation to enhance the customer's experience. Finally, to round it out, you'll be able to have your learners manage renewals and offboarding professionally in order to protect long-term customer value, because you never know when they'll probably want to come back. Okay, so we'll talk about this first phase here. So again, we're laying the groundwork by describing the structure of this onboarding process, as well as how to address customer needs and goals by harping on a customer theme within customer success. And I've already said it a few times, but proactive engagement and support. And with courses like customer success and onboarding and the role of the account manager in customer success, these are just a few of the courses that make this first phase. All right, and moving along to our second phase, customer engagement and relationship building. This phase details strategies to strengthen relationships with customers by organically building loyalty via courses like educating the customer and reinforcing through methods like social proofs, which in turn makes the customer feel safe, warm, and cozy, also known as retention. So next, performance optimization and growth. In this particular phase, we shift into a bit of data strategy and leveraging KPIs. We also explore how to define and track data in order to reduce churn and grow recurring revenue. Plus, we'll introduce automation of tasks to help scale your efforts, but without losing that personal touch with your customers. So some applicable titles in this particular phase include customer success KPIs, reducing customer churn, and more. And rounding out our fourth phase is our customer renewal and offboarding courses. In this, we address customer retention via renewals by using different methodologies, 7 to be exact. So from our time for renewals course and how to carefully manage these renewals, as it can understandably be a bit tricky. Alternatively, some of these professional relationships can inevitably come to an end. So identifying and professionally facilitating this is covered in this phase through a course like dealing with the end of a customer relationship. But so as not to end on a negative note, you'll also be able to learn some positives that can come from this as well. So I just mentioned throughout this whole process, I was describing the learning paths and the phases. I mentioned a few examples of courses throughout this overview so far, but in order to make it easier for you, what we've done is we actually created a PDF that we will share for you in the chat here shortly, which displays all of the courses entailed for each phase so you can have a better idea. So that is a wrap up of our 4 phases in customer success, our customer success learning path. Now I'm going to pass the mic to Irini.
Thank you, Nick. So now it's my time to sign and show you how you can create those learning paths in the system. So I'm just gonna switch my screen. So just bear with me. Oops, here it is. So I'm already logged in as an administrator in my portal. And one of the things that I need to highlight here is that in order for you to have access to the Talent Library courses and build the learning paths that Nick walked us through, you need to have the Talent Library subscription added in your subscription. And of course, as an admin, you can click the course store. Now, just to give you a very brief walkthrough here, this is the page of the course store where you can check all the Talent Library courses. We have here collections, organize them by collections, so it will be easier for you to search and pick what you're looking for. There's a search bar here as well. And this is the sales and service category that Nick told us at the beginning, and the different subcategories. So I'm going to pick two, oops, sorry, let me move that out of the way. So I'm going to pick two courses that Nick mentioned, if I'm not mistaken, from the sales path, the third phase to be exact. So I'm just going to use the search courses here. The first one would be about how to build rapport. So here it is. All you have to do is just click get this course, and this will be added in your course list. And I will get also the shortening your sales cycle, pick it up like this. Now, for this sake of this demonstration, I will only pick up two courses, but of course, you will pick up all the courses that build, let's say, this learning path. Now, by the time I get these courses, by default, I will be acting as the instructor of these courses. So if I go to courses, let me remove that out of the way. If I go to courses and sort out by last update, you will see the two courses that I just picked up. And now let's get into the best part, how to build the learning path. So if the first coursing line is the building trust and rapport, and the second coursing line is the shortening your sales cycle, the first method is to go on the second coursing line. So I'm just going to click here and click edit. And from the course options, go to limits and then go to prerequisites. Now, by adding prerequisites in my courses, I create a sequence between the courses that the learners cannot skip and cannot bypass. And it's required for the learner to complete all the prerequisites in order to access the current course. In this case, the building trust and rapport is the prerequisite. So I'm just gonna search it, click it here, click save. And now, as you can see on the course info page, we have this little logpad that says to the learner to explore the prerequisite courses. I click it here and it will go all the way down where I can see what course needs to be completed first. This is the first method to build the learning path. So you will need to build accordingly the prerequisites. For example, going from A to B, A will be the prerequisite of B. From B to C, B will be the prerequisite of C, and this is how it goes. The second option is to use the automations. The automations is a feature that we can find on Pro Plans and Hires, and there's a dedicated button in here. So you click it and go to add automation. Now, if I select the drop-down menu here, you will see a long list of automations. What I'm looking for is the one that will assign the second coursing line as long as the first coursing line is completed. As you can see, there's also automations that will do the assignment process if only courses have been assigned. But for this example, I want to ensure that the user has completed the first course and then they will move on into the next one. So I can either select this one, this automation that has also a time definition, or go directly on this one that will assign the courses on the spot. So report is the first one. I'm just gonna click it here, and the shortening your sales cycle is the second one. I need to give my automation a name. So I'm just gonna say sales service path phase 3 first combo, something like that. Oops. Yeah, this is the correct one. Click the save button, and now this automation will work for every user that completes the building trust and rapport, and the system will assign the next one in line. Now, the difference between automations and prerequisites is that when I'm using prerequisites, I need to assign all courses to users. Rest assured that this sequence cannot be skipped. However, if I'm working with automations, I don't need to assign all the courses. I just need to assign the first course that will trigger this domino effect that the system will start assigning courses when the necessary courses are completed. And just to give you a couple of tips, because apart from building the learning paths, you can also work with the Talent Library courses like you would treat your own courses. So if I go back to my course list, and let's, for example, click this course. One of the things you need to know is that by the time you get the Talent Library courses, they're hidden from your course catalog, so your learners won't be able to search for them, and that will give you extra time to work with those courses. So as you can see, you can change the title, you can upload a different image, you can change the description in here, you can go to course options, and if you want to, from the info tab, you can change the course code and the category. You can use a different intro video or remove it entirely. And of course, it also gives you the option to click the add button and start adding content on your own, whether it would be your own videos, your own presentations, or learning activities like your own tests or surveys in case you want to collect feedback, or even assignment units. So you can treat the Talent Library courses exactly like you would do with your own course and use them as the foundation to enhance the content and, of course, build something on your own. Another thing that you can also do is go to completion. One thing that you need to know is that the Talent Library courses come with their own certificate, which of course you can remove from here and assign a certificate of your own, and also set up the automation of repetition that will show up by the time I select a certificate in here. And if you have added more content like videos and presentations, you can change the sequential order. You can set up a different completion rules if you have mandatory or optional units. And of course, one last thing, you can also add your own files by clicking here and drag and drop your files, or by clicking the files button, click upload and start adding your own files. Rest assured that your content as units cannot be downloaded. However, whatever files you're uploading here and you share them with your learners will be available for download. Now, the Talent Library courses come with SCORM files, 1.2 format, which ensure seamless integration and tracking with TalentLMS. They include a trailer, as you've seen, which allows the learner to preview what this course they will complete is all about. And of course, they come with takeaway tasks and development plans. And all this information are available here. And all you have to do is just click the Share button, and those information will be available for download as well. And with that said, I think, Nick, it's time to move on to our Q&A, and we have a lot of questions to start with. So let me just pick up the questions. I already done this work while you were you were walking us through the paths. So the first question comes from Jim. Do any of these learning paths have a cultural awareness aspect when dealing with customers?
Yes, hi Jim. Yes, short answer, yes. So we do have a particular course which is dedicated to this cultural awareness aspect, and it didn't maybe not to put you on the spot, but could you possibly pull that course up and show them? But yeah, so we do have a course that touches on that, and it's quite interesting in that if I remember, one of the things that interested me the most about that course is this perception of time through different cultures. Because obviously, maybe in Europe, it's okay to be a couple minutes late for a meeting, whereas anywhere else, possibly in North America, maybe you might upset a few people. So being aware of these cultural aspects, and the course addresses much more than that, is quite interesting. In another case, it even touches on high context cultures versus low context cultures in this course. So a really interesting course overall. And if I'm not mistaken, it's also encompassed in 4 chapters, and with a course, of course, at the end. However, there's also multiple points of view for the cultural awareness course. So if you're not just looking for this topic in sales and service, we have some in human resources and leadership as well.
Great. Then there's another question coming from Sophia, who is asking, and I think that this one is for me, can employees start a course and pick up from where they left off in the phase, or will it erase their progress? Okay, so the courses are independent and standalone, and the system remembers the progress. So if a learner has started with a course already and has been stopped for now on the 50%, when they will get back on in the course, they will continue from the point they were left. So they don't need to start the course from the beginning. So if you're talking about the different content that you might include in your courses, for example, for this area here, for the different type of units that the learners have completed, the system will keep the progress, so they will pick up from where they're left. However, if you're talking about the chapters within the SCORM files, because the SCORM files will demonstrate the information in different chapters, and there will be also a test at the end. And let me just preview really quick. Let me just preview that so you will see what I'm talking about. So if I click start the course, you see that there are different chapters. As long as the user has completed the chapter, they will continue from where they left. However, if they're in the middle of the chapter, I'm afraid that in this case, if they drop this type of unit, they will need to complete the chapter from the beginning. I hope this answers your question. However, if you need further assistance on that or more clarifications, feel free to send us an email to onboarding@talentlms.com and we will get back to you. Now, another question coming from Keith, and this is for you, Nick. I've been exploring the collection and I came across the Dealing with Sales Fear course. I've never heard of such a topic in sales. Can you elaborate more on this?
Right. Yeah. Hi, Keith. Thanks for the question. And it is indeed a pretty interesting title, to say the least. And Irene, if you could, yeah, pull that one up as well, please. But a very interesting one of my favorites. But this sales fear course basically addresses different facets of the sales process that could bring anxiety or just a touch of unease. Things like, fear of rejection, getting turned down for a deal or a pricing proposal or anything like that, or even a fear of a failure of not meeting your particular KPIs that are set out by your team. There's always some anxiety and pressure we feel. And with this course, it not only brings awareness to these fears, but it also teaches you how to overcome them. So nice confidence producing 15-minute course here with the sales fear course. I found it really valuable, but good question. Good for noticing that.
Great. Then another question coming from Sonia, which I will answer. Can the user see the complete list of a learning path? So in all the courses in the learning path, seeing what has been completed and what is still locked, or are all those courses spread through different categories? I'm afraid, Sonia, that for now, it's not possible for the learner to see the entire list of the learning path you have built. Especially if you're working with automations, the learner will not have that information in advance of what course follows unless you provide that. When it comes into prerequisites, the learner will be able to see only the course that needs to be completed before. So if I go back into this course that we have created that prerequisite, if they click here, they can see the list of all the prerequisites that should be completed first. Now, the workaround on this would be to share this information within the description of each course. So if you have organized your courses into learning paths, maybe you could include that information in this description, like a disclaimer that this course is part of a learning path that is consisted from these courses. So the learner will have that information in every course. And of course, as a learner, so I'm just going to switch really quick into my learner role. From the view button, they can check all the courses that belong into a category. So if you have organize your courses and those learning paths under certain categories, the learner can see these courses grouped like that. But of course, they can also filter based on in progress or completing courses. And this is how they can check what are the remaining courses that should be completed or what's the progress so far. I hope this helps. And again, please feel free to send us an email and we will get back to you with more information. Another question coming from Maria, and that one is for you, Nick. I know you'll be sharing the PDF with the breakdown of the course of each phase, but what if I need further guidance? And there's also another question coming from Nawaf, who is asking how customizable is Talent LMS for different sales or service teams across regions or product lines? Can we tailor learning paths based on specific KPIs or roles? So I have the sense that the answer is the same for both questions, Nick.
Yes, with these two questions, especially the latter, we'll need a more detailed response. But with that, sure, you can actually send us an email directly with all your questions, and we can touch on that. And the email would be content library@talentlms.com. It'll get to one of us, and we'll be happy to get back to you and answer in more detail and more thoroughly. So we'll post that in the chat. Yeah, we did. Thanks for that. Or instead of emailing, actually, we're also available for live content curation calls to discuss your needs in depth, answer any questions, suggest any course titles, any further guidance that might be needed. We can certainly help out with that.
Great. Another question coming from Karen. Can we get a sneak peek of that PDF? I had the sense that someone would ask for that in the chat. So I already have that PDF open. So let me just bring that here. So this is how this PDF will look like, which you will all receive once the session concludes with the recording, of course. So here we have the first brochure of the sales cycle essentials, learning objectives, the audience which is suitable for, the level, the duration, and the skills enhanced. And this is where you can see for each phase the learning goal and the courses. Moving on into the next page, we have the customer success essentials. Again, audience level, durations, and what skills will be enhanced, the learning objectives, and the 4 different phases with learning goals and courses. And of course, last but not least, the customer service essentials. Again, audience level, duration, and skill enhanced learning objectives, the different phases and the courses that we believe could consist these phases. But of course, as Nick said, this is all customizable. You can definitely build your own learning paths as well if you want to, and enhance these learning paths with your courses as well. But definitely, if you need further guidance into these learning paths and how you can build them in the system. Actually, not the how-to, but further guidance of how you could match them together. Definitely send an email to contentlibrary@talentlms.com. They will get back to you. They're very experienced, of course. And you can also, if it's necessary, book a curation call as well. Sonia is also asking if we could please share the slides. We will share the recording, so you will be able to have the slides as well on your screen, but thank you for asking. And then there's one last question that we could answer. I think we do have time for that. Let me just try to, let me remove that out of the way. There's a question from Marta. What are the compliance essentials that I see on the course store? I think
Ah,
Nick, Marta is asking about this. So can you please walk us through while I'm getting there?
yes, I think which Martha might be referring to is maybe the carousel near the top. Yes, that's it right there. Yes, great observation. It's still fairly new. We just put this out here, and it's our nifty carousel that changes topics every month with a list of suggested courses. So for this month we have our compliance essentials. In June we had our sales and service. So it's basically there to keep you apprised of any courses you might not have laid eyes on, which of course is pretty easy to do, considering we have over 1,200 courses in Talent Library. So good there to keep you update on any offerings we have month to month.
And I think I have the time for one last question that I will be answering. This question comes from Sebastian. Sebastian is asking what would be the more efficient way to assign courses to learners once we build the learning paths? Well, you can assign the courses to learners in with multiple ways in TalentLMS. What I will demonstrate to you right now is the one that I believe that will be more efficient for you. But of course, if you're looking for different ways, feel free to send us an email. So personally, I would be using the groups. So once I have figured out how this learning path would be consistent, whether working with, especially when we're working with prerequisites, because with the automations, the system will do the work for us. I would then create a group. So let's create a group together as we speak. So let's call that sales learning path. Okay. Oops, typo happens to the best of us. Maybe you could write here in the description what this group is about, some information of who should be assigned to this group of courses. I'm going to skip it for now. And I will also check this little box that was recently released, the auto-enroll users to courses. Once I check this little magic box, after I have added my courses, of course, every user that I'm adding in this group, automatically they will be assigned to the group courses. Magic, right? Great. So I'm going to save. And the next thing I need to do is add the courses. So I'm just going to click here, click add courses, and let's use the ones that I just added, building the rapport. And let's also add the sorting in the cycle. Oops. Sorting in your sales cycle. And let's add a couple more and let's pretend that these are, the courses from this path. I know that they're not, but let's pretend for now. So I have my courses here, and the next step is going to users. Click add users, and let's pretend that these users that I'm adding right now are the people that should be assigned to this learning path. Now, all I have to do is just refresh. But before I do that, you see these two little numbers. The second number will show you how many courses this group has, and the first number will show you in how many courses that user has already been enrolled to. Rest assured, the user progress so far will not be affected. The system will automatically assign the remaining courses. It has its own ways to identify what these courses are about. So I'm just going to refresh my page, and now you see that all my users are 5 out of 5, which means that simple like that, all these users have been assigned to this learning path. I hope this helps. There's another question from Surak, just like Irini showed, asking individual courses. Is it possible to add the 3 learning paths itself? I just demonstrated the groups. If you feel that this might not be useful, or if you would like to separate it even more, even in smaller chunks, let's say, feel free to send us an email and we will get back to you. I hope that I got your question right, but in case I haven't, you know the drill, send us an email and we will get back to you. And I think that that's a wrap, Nick. So let me just go back in my screen. So thank you all for joining today. I'm sure that there will be more questions about the learning paths, the courses that could consist those learning paths. But as Nick said, you can contact them directly to content library@talentlms.com. And of course, apart from the curation call that you could request, so you can talk with someone from the Talent Library team directly and get further guidance. In case you don't have the Talent Library, your subscription, and you would like to explore it, you can also request for a 14-day trial. So you can see these courses from the learner's perspective. And if you feel that these are useful, you can definitely add them. And this will give you access to all the existing courses so far and to the upcoming ones. And apart from the content library, in case if you have any how-to questions, how the portal performs, how we can set up the learning paths, or any other how-to question about Talent LMS, feel free to get in contact with us at onboarding@talentlms.com, and we will get back to you. And you can also access this webinar and all the past webinars through our webinar page. All these links are posted in the chat right now, as well as our survey link, because we need your feedback. Your feedback is very valuable and definitely makes us better. So if you have any comments about this webinar, about future webinars, any ideas or any requests for future webinars, feel free to send your feedback through the survey link that Ioannis has just posted in the chat. Now, thank you all for joining again. Thank you, Nick, for hosting this session with me. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did.
Oh yeah, my pleasure. It was great. Thank you, Irini. Thanks everyone for joining too, by the way. And hopefully next time we'll see you again.
And also thanks, John Ioannis, for answering all the questions in the background. And with that said, and until next time, happy training.